The next coach on the teleconference is Illinois' John Groce. The Fighting Illini earned the number 9 seed in this week's Big Ten tournament. Illinois will open play against 8th-seeded Michigan on Thursday at noon Eastern Time. Coach Groce, good morning.
Good morning.
Please start us out with some opening thoughts, and then we'll go straight to questions for you.
Well, as I said the other day after the game on Saturday, the way we've played over the course of the last month, I'm really proud of our guys. Their toughness and togetherness has been exceptional. We weren't, just didn't play real well on Saturday. That was, one game and 2 hours in time, and we've got to get back to, hopefully playing the way that we did for the bulk of the last month when we play on Thursday. So, we're looking forward to the tournament and kind of getting a fresh start here with what we call Season 3. We understand it's going to be a great challenge. Michigan's playing well right now at both ends of the floor. So we're looking forward to it. Anxious to get to D.C. We leave tomorrow and look forward to finishing up preparation here the next 2 or 3 days for a really good Michigan team that we play on Thursday at 12 noon.
Thanks, Coach. Let's go straight to questions, please.
Your first question is from Ron McCauley, Will Radio.
Hey, John. Perhaps it's fair to say that the difference between the two regular season Michigan games, as well as the difference in the last 5 games, is that when you shot well, you won, and when you didn't shoot well, you lost. So I've been wondering if there's something that you can do when you see the percentages are not there for you from field goal or 3-point field goal.
Are you talking, Rob, strictly our last month of games, or are you talking games strictly against Michigan?
I'm talking about the last 5 games total and the 2 games against Michigan. So
okay.
Is there something that you can change mid-game if you recognize that the shooting just isn't there?
Not really. I mean, you are who you are this time of year. Obviously, every team is that in terms of personnel and what they run, and there'll be some wrinkles here and there that each team will make, certainly this week in D.C. from a game management perspective or preparation perspective. But, in large part, you kind of are, you are who you are. For me, it's more about the quality of the shot and the rep of the shot being high quality. At that point, then, I'm swallowing it, and whatever happens, happens. I think for me, it's more about, running quality offense, getting a great shot, and making sure that the rep that we take is done well. I hit the guys with that all the time. So, at the end of the day, for us, I think, sometimes you can control the quality of the shot you get by execution, and then ultimately, you gotta, hope you make a few of them.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Your next question is from Scott Ritchie, Champaign News Gazette.
Morning, John.
Morning.
I guess, with the 2 previous games you played against Michigan, both were kind of commanding home victories for both teams. How much can you take from those heading into this week? And then I guess, secondly, what have you seen maybe from Michigan in kind of their stretch run where they've been playing some of their better basketball?
Yeah, I think, obviously you can take a little bit from them, meaning the 2 games. But in my opinion, just watching here over the last 24 hours, their team play here late in the year, our team play late in the year, we're different teams, in my opinion. Certainly, I have more of a pulse on our own team. You'd have to ask John about his team, because he's with them on a daily basis and coaching them every game. But from an outsider's perspective, I think they're playing, really well here down the stretch. I feel like we're playing really well here down the stretch, and both of us are playing, some of our better basketball, and we understand, there'll be a great challenge on Thursday. But you can take a little bit certainly from those films, and I'm sure they're going to watch them. We've already watched them. They'll break them down. We'll break them down. But I do think, in some sense, it seems like it was such a long time ago that we played the 2 games, and they were relatively close to each other, that I do think there are, some significant differences, in my opinion, in terms of quality of play of both teams. And I mean that certainly in a positive sense for both teams.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Your next question is from Adam Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Hi, John. I know you get asked about Thad Mott every so often. I know Obviously, it's been a tough year in some ways for both of you guys for different stretches. I just wonder if you've talked to him at all, if you guys have commiserated at all about things maybe not falling your way at times this year, or how that relationship, how that friendship has been through this Big Ten season.
Yeah, we text mostly, and text even as recent as last week, this past week. So, but he's the one thing about him, and I hope he would say the same about me. We're not commiserators. That's not who he is. That's not who I am. He has a knack for staying in the moment. I think our players hopefully would say that we do the same. So we're obviously supportive of each other, but we're not commiserators.
Yeah, maybe that was the wrong choice of words. Maybe supporter would be the better word there. But yeah, so as you see them getting ready for the tournament, I know you're obviously focused on your team, but what have you made of what Fed's dealt with this season and what Ohio State has done?
Well, obviously, we played them so long ago. It was the first game for them, a second one for us. And then I see them some with like opponents that we have on film, here and there. But, I know obviously he's dealt with, some injuries and different things throughout the year and continues to, Thad's one of those guys, he just continues, it is what it is, and every day he's going to work to get the very most out of his team. He's always been that way ever since I've known him, which is a long time ago. So that hasn't changed, and I don't see that being any different. Obviously they had a loss or two that was tough, and then they came right back to no surprise and responded in a very positive way, and he's that's kind of who he is.
Thank you.
Sure.
Coach, looks like we're all set. We'll see you in D.C.
Hey, sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks. The next coach on the teleconference is Michigan's John Beilein. The Wolverines earned the number 8 seed in this week's Big Ten tournament after completing the conference season with a 10-8 record. Michigan will take on 9th seeded Illinois at noon Eastern time on Thursday. Coach Beilein, good morning.
Good morning.
Please start us out with a quick opening thought, and then we'll go straight to questions for you.
We're just thrilled with our win last night. Late night getting back, but so glad we're not playing on Wednesday. That we have a Thursday game against a really good Illinois team that has been playing as good a basketball as anybody in the league in this last 3 weeks. So we know got a tough opponent. Really excited about another time to be in the Big Ten tournament. Washington, D.C. sounds like I think it's a great idea, and we're looking forward to playing this week.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go straight to questions, please, Darla.
Your first question is from Larry Lee, Associated Press.
Good morning, Coach. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm doing a story on Miles Bridges, and you're one of the teams that did a relatively good job of keeping him in check at 15 points each time. Curious, his skill set, what makes him, special? What did you guys do against him, and do you quietly root that he goes pro after his freshman season?
There was nothing special. He missed some open shots that he could have made, that he probably makes all the other time. We did the best we could with him defensively, but the guys like this, there's not any strategy that you do. If he can't pass, then you can double him, but he can pass. If he can't shoot, then you can stay off him, but he can shoot. If he can't put the ball on the ground, right, you can pressure him, but he can put the ball on the ground. There's not a defense that's going to stop him, and we didn't do anything other than you hope that you guard him enough and they don't miss some of the shots that he usually makes. And as far as a guy going pro, I'm never going to comment on that.
Fair enough. Thanks.
Yep.
Your next question is from Chad Listicout, the Morning Register.
Morning, Coach. Wanted to ask about the middle of the Big Ten and what maybe a year-long 10-8 there with Iowa, a team might cover Michigan State, Northwestern. What would your case be for kind of that group with the NCAA selection committee?
I think what the committee does consider, I'm sure that they do, is improvement as the year goes on. Is that when you have a team like Iowa's a great example. You got a bunch of young guys all trying to figure it out early. They're going to have some good wins in the beginning, and they may drop a couple as they learn what college basketball is about. I think, like in our case, it was great we went to the NCAA tournament last year. It was also bad because we had this feeling in our game, like with maybe Virginia Tech, down the stretch, we were just not good, we weren't as there wasn't a sense of urgency that you need to have. So the Iowas, the Illinois, these teams are. They just improve during the season. The good coaches get their teams to improve as the year goes on. Iowa's a perfect example of that, and as Illinois, that they just keep getting better and better. And by the end of the year, all the teams are similar. Just some of them got knocked out early because they were still growing as they came to the grueling schedule of the Big Ten. So anybody can beat anybody is what I'm saying, and I'm sure the committee understands that. They're basketball guys. They get growth on a team.
Thank you very much.
Your next question is from Mark Snyder, Detroit Free Press.
Hey, John. When you look at the two Illinois games, I mean, they're so vastly different. Is it hard to kind of get a feel for how you match up?
Yeah, I've only watched a couple of their games this morning that was not against us. I was saving that for the afternoon. Yeah, you can't really get anything on this one. Both teams played really well on their home court, and now we're neutral, and so expect a buzzer beater type of game, because I think both teams they have some experience. They have talented players. We both have talented players. John's got a great plan over there, so I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is we're going to do everything to get prepared to play a really good team that's really hot right now.
The biggest adjustment it seemed like you made was handling the bigs a little better in the second game. Was that something that is the growth of your big guys defensively, or something that you just changed game plan?
Both. I think both. We did not at that time. I don't think we either picked up on how good their big men could shoot the ball, and they shot it really well. So at Illinois. So there was sometimes you're playing guys in different gaps as how you will close out on them, and if you are late to your closeout there, they are going to put it right in your face. So that was a big thing, and Kipper Nichols was really good. He kept him in the game off the boards and really played well in the game in Champaign.
Thanks.
We got time for one more question from Scott Ritchie, please, Darla.
And your final question from Scott Ritchie, Champaign News Gazette.
Hey, Coach. Would you maybe consider your home win against Illinois maybe the start of the push you made at the end of the season? Just because it seemed like you guys had a lot of motivation to get that win after losing in Champaign, and they've played well since then.
Yeah, I'd have to look back at the season. I mean, it's possible. I think whether it could have been a practice before or a practice after, it could have been one thing somewhere along the line. It could have been the loss before that that may have started things, and not necessarily the win. So it's tough to do that. It's still when you're in this season. All I know is that our team has improved defensively, and I knew it would. The numbers that we were putting up defensively were astronomical. I've never seen anything like it. And so where we still have not become a super defensive team, we've improved dramatically there. And I would put it more on those things than, okay, that was the game that gave us confidence. That was a good game. To beat Illinois at any time, we consider it a great win because it's such a good program.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time. We'll see you in D.C.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.